Hello everybody and welcome back to our long-running playthrough of Zero Escape Virtue / Reward. Michael Gray here with Nikola Suprak.
Hello, I have no idea what's going on. I think it's been like a year since I did this last.
Let me see, we're on video number 22, you were last on video number 12. So this is actually, it is kind of unfortunate we ended the last video sort of here, with us solving the room, and not showing any of the scenes after solving the room.
When we were looking at the security footage earlier,
that was to leave everyone in suspense.
Leave everyone in suspense since August. August is when the last video went up.
Totally forgot
Wow.
that security systems like this can do more than show you live footage.
Yeah, we took Halloween off,
following me?
so now we're just jumping back on.
Yep. Okay, so let me see. We introduce ourselves. We introduce where we are in the game. We're at the Luna ending, kind of.
Okay, have we gotten off the sinking ship yet?
No, I don't think we have. Have we gotten
Yeah,
off
Don't know how
of
much luck
Pluto?
we'll have, but it's worth a shot.
And there's a version of the walkthrough without commentary.
Leave that to me.
So I actually have notes here. These are all my notes. It says the Luna pathway. To get the Luna pathway, you choose magenta, then you ally.
That means there's
Then you
a
pick
logic to
green
how
and
it's
then
set up.
ally.
A computer computes, a calculator
And which pathways
calculates,
do you need to complete
and an
before Luna? I feel like it's almost all of them,
automobiles.
right?
Everything's designed to do something.
Actually, none of them, I don't think.
Oh, really? This is one of the ones you can do
Once you start
first?
to figure out how to get it to
If
do
you know what the
things,
passwords are
it's
ahead
just
of
a
time,
question of
yeah.
playing.
Oh,
Or to get the
interesting,
passwords
okay.
on the internet, which is totally
You
possible.
just cheat? Yeah,
You
that's
could
true.
cheat
They
your
don't
way to
change,
this
yeah.
ending, yeah. Okay, my notes also say that Alex Jedrzak, the new
Makes it sound like you're better than me or
editor-in-chief of Game Cola, was supposed to be here with us.
Oh, I think his official title is Jeditor-in-Chief.
Editor-in-chief, yeah. So
Pretty
he
sure.
was on video number 20, which we call A Robot Talks About Underwear in Chinese.
Oh, was that the Chinese room?
Yep, the one with
okay.
the robot with the Cockney accent. He liked that.
Damn it.
Yeah, that was my favorite one.
And then we had Diana on part number 21, where we just talked about dating sims for an hour.
All it says here is
I know nothing about dating sims, so this one will definitely be different. I don't think I've ever played one.
It's okay. I've sworn off dating sims now.
Yeah.
You say that, but I feel like we're going to see 3 or 4 more reviews in the next month.
There probably are going to be. But I mean, the one company I've sworn off because they put a strike against my YouTube channel.
Oh, really? That's obnoxious.
Yeah, because I put up screenshots of their bodyguard game, which is being canceled this month.
So wait, why did they put a strike against your YouTube channel?
It's because I had screenshots from their bodyguard game.
But they canceled the bodyguard game?
So it's funny, like a week after Diana and I recorded this thing talking about these dating sims, the company Voltage announced we're discontinuing the games.
Huh.
So on the 25th of this month, all those games are going to be discontinued.
So they sent you like an injunction or whatever to make you take the stuff down.
Even though the game is being canceled in 3 weeks, yes.
Like they let everyone go except for their legal department, apparently.
Yeah. Well, I think it was something they did with another company. In any case, our heroes are looking at security footage
Oh yeah,
files.
stuff is happening. They are also trying to play the bodyguard game, but they're getting some sort of error file here, I think is what's going on.
Yeah, I think that's it. And I'm told that if you're able to read that small text, aren't there like joke texts?
What do you mean?
See, that one I don't know. I know there's all sorts of jokes hidden throughout this. That one I never. That's one I'm unaware of.
I can't even read it, but I think that's in one of the question and answers on their website somewhere. Was they put like Doctor Who characters and pony characters and
Really?
such. And Paul was excited. He said, "Yes, the Pony Pros have officially been put in the game."
Already on it.
So this is one of the pathways where, I believe, oh yeah, Alice was killed. Which
Alice.
happens
I feel
a lot.
she dies in like every pathway. That's not surprising.
But this time, Luna's dead body was found next to her.
Okay. But this is the Luna ending. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So So the question is, like, okay, well, did Alice kill Luna? Who killed Luna? So I think right here we're going to get way too much information on who went in and out of the room. And it's basically everybody who's still alive went in and out of the room.
It's sort of an interesting... I'm not sure. It's not really, but it kind of reminded me of like a locked door murder mystery, you know, that common trope where you see there's only these people that go into the room, but the murder occurs just off camera because they were avoiding they went to the one spot where the room wasn't being recorded, apparently.
Yep. That's exactly what happens.
This is the footage the Golem pulled from the main server. The original data was deleted.
I don't know what this is they're watching now. Was that the end of the previous video where
I think that's K pulling two people into a room, it looks like.
It's Phi and Sigma. He knocked them both out, threw them into the room because they didn't want to go into the door without Tenmyouji or Clover.
Nice. Great work, Sigma.
Which I don't understand why. I mean, I can understand. It's like, hey, we don't want Clover and Tenmyouji to die, but it's like you've got 20 seconds left.
We'll die
too.
too.
Go through the room.
Yeah.
At least just go through the doorway. Go on the other side of the doorway and look through it.
Just peek through. Stick your shoe or something in when the door mechanism tries to close.
Good.
Yeah.
Looks like they're both fine.
So K and Dio are safe. And Sigma and Phi, that's her name, right? Sigma and Phi are safe. Looks like everybody else must be dead now.
Yeah, I'd guess so.
Well, wait.
But at least we'll see Dio and K pretty soon, right? They'll be healthy for sure.
It doesn't look like Sigma's being healthy.
What's going on here? I think he's got motion sickness.
He drank all of the whiskey in the...
He drank too much Blue Moon.
Yeah. And fast forwarded. I mean, I was able to understand what she was saying just fine. I don't know what his problem is.
I know. I feel like the Age of Aquarius or something should be playing in the background right now.
Yeah. It's like, you don't look so good. But anyway, I think we talked about this game is also on like the dating sim database because they're visual novels.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, then I guess I have played one dating sim if they count this as a dating sim, even though...
They count this and Phoenix Wright, which makes no sense to me. Even though...
I don't... They need better classifications for what a dating sim is. These two are just visual novels.
Yeah, they're visual novels, but I'm just saying, even though that's totally how I play Phoenix Wright, it's
Most people don't, though.
So yeah, so when I was looking up like the visual novels in English, you know, this and Phoenix Wright were both on the list. Games that are available for the iOS. There's only like 10 of them. But if you turn on that's if you turn off the sexual content filter. If you leave the sexual content filter, you know, off, all of a sudden,
don't do that.
It jumps up by dozens and dozens of games. Not this game, however. I wonder why this game slipped under that particular radar. This is not a G-rated game.
You okay?
No, Sigma's all good again.
And besides, Alice is in this game.
That's true.
She looks like your typical dating sim character.
She never once wears a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
Now, so I haven't been paying attention at all here. Do they know about Radical 6 in this pathway?
I don't know if they do. That would require me, like, rewatching videos.
Okay. Because I was going to say, if they do, you think Sigma would be panicking, since that's like literally what happened to... Because the same thing happened to Alice before she started murdering everyone.
Mm-hmm. That's a different pathway,
I don't have anything to worry about.
I mean, that's definitely a different pathway. I think in every pathway they learn about Radical 6, but we've seen in another pathway that Sigma has been exhibiting these symptoms of having it.
You haven't caught a disease or something, have you?
Okay, so
here we
there's a
go.
little... I don't know how that didn't come to his mind immediately.
Well, it's because he's got radical sex. Apparently it makes him not very smart.
Yeah, one of the symptoms is you forget about radical sex.
Well, you're looking a lot better, so I can stop worrying, right?
Looks like she turned all the monitors off.
Fine. No more check-ins. Anyway, I figured something out while you were resting. Come have a look at this.
Oh, I wanted to say there was news about Zero Escape 3, but there hasn't been any.
Oh. Man, we've been intentionally going slow here, just waiting for news of the third game.
Yeah.
That's why.
I dug it out of
well, I know that, you know, we've got the Project Bluebird, I think, which is the fan project to try to get it released. And they're trying to raise money by releasing a fan book for Zero Escape series. And right now they're putting out calls for what do you call it, cosplayers.
The central server seems to be using its own time system.
So I'm like, oh, that's what those guys are doing now?
I don't know how that's going to help, but
you know, I just visited their website in preparation for this video. It's like, oh, they want cosplay pictures of Santa. Okay, so here's the locked room mystery thing. Kay steps into the room, checks his wrist.
I'll just pause that and magnify it.
Oh, this is
just checking the time.
This is where we get into way too much detail. Can security cameras, footage do that? Like, zoom in on a picture that was taken from a video a couple of hours ago?
I feel like possibly, like, I know I can zoom in, like, if you just take a picture on your phone, you can zoom in, you know, to any point on the phone. I'm not sure if you get that sort of resolution.
I know they can do that in the Miles Edgeworth game as well, on a VHS tape. I'm like, no, VCRs can't do that.
Your VCR didn't come with the zoom feature?
No.
Right.
But that was a plot point. That was like a video from like 20 years ago, so that's why it was a VHS tape.
Yeah, if you believe him. The footage here doesn't show any of that. I looked around, but I couldn't find one. The only stuff left is shot from this position.
It would be disappointing if we didn't get a third game, because as we will see coming up here soon, this game sort of sets up for a third game really heavily.
Yeah, I kind of feel that, I don't know, even if he can't release like a full-blown game, he should at least release a very scaled-down version of it.
Or at least some sort of memo just to answer all the questions this guy leaves open.
Yeah, well, I would scale it down and like do it in RenP or something.
After all, it's not like we know
which is, spoiler alert, is something I'm actually doing now with Paul, actually.
Oh, are you? Is it a Beard in the Mirror sequel?
No, it's actually something Katie, you know, my fiance, recommended. I said, well, no, Paul put on his website that he's looking for somebody to write a game for him because he loves doing things like RenP where it just holds his hand and tells him how to program it. So he feels like he's a good programmer when he's not really doing much programming. So he's like, I'd love to be able to do a project like that. So I took him up on that and said, okay, I'll write something for you. And he said, let's make it something short, like 500 words, like some other game called I Get This Call All the Time.
Right now you and I are talking to Dio in the Floor B warehouse.
I think that's what he called it.
So you've got 500 words for the entire story here, huh?
Okay, it's a game called I Get This Call Every Day, which is a short visual novel working in a call center dealing with an obnoxious customer. It's a very basic thing, but it's like 500 to 600 words.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, sure, I can write something like that. So I asked Katie, what should I make a game about? And she said, somebody gets a piece of junk mail.
Don't know.
And that's the game. It's about somebody getting an email from a Nigerian prince. And it turns out there actually is a prince in Nigeria who's in danger of being dethroned.
Spoilers, Michael.
I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Clover's interrogation goes on for a while, but it's all pretty much the same thing. Now, at 0 hours, 10 minutes,
If they're unable to make Zero Escape 3, they should contact Paul, is what I'm saying. Paul can program the entire thing in RenP.
They only get 500 words.
Only 500 words, yeah. Well, otherwise, he's going to make it like 50,000 words. This guy likes to write a lot.
He does.
Or at least there should be like this massive fanfic that tries to be game number 3. I wonder if they have one of those.
I'm sure someone's probably already written game 3 and 4 on like fanfiction.net already.
This is the only one that
I would try it, except, you know, I have no idea what's going to happen in game 3. Mine would be, okay, they play the nonary game again, because that's what happens.
Yeah, this is about 1 minute and 40 seconds after they both left the frame. So 0 hours, 11 minutes, 40 seconds.
Oh, man. So basically, Clover leaves.
Clover and Luna enter the room. Only
Hold
Clover
on.
leaves
Wait
the
until
room.
you've seen the whole thing before you start deducing. At 0 hours, 12
And then Dio's
minutes,
gonna come in, right?
another person comes in, just
so.
missing her.
Oh?
What's he doing?
Looks like it's...
Being all creepy.
He doesn't walk like a normal person. He walks like a creeper.
He does, yeah. He walks like he's like tiptoeing slowly, like behind a bush or something.
I don't know.
It's like
But
he
I'm
knows
pretty
he's
sure
being
that whatever
suspicious.
It was, he doesn't want us to know about it. Remember what he said when you asked him about Quark?
I actually don't see Zero Escape here on fanfiction.net.
Really?
Let
That's
me look
shocking.
under V for Virtue's Last Reward. Yep, it's under V for Virtue's Last Reward.
That's weird. You think they would just like group the series together?
And 999 is separate too. So Virtue's Last Reward has 19 fanfics, and 999 has 124.
We should consider that it might have been something bad.
That's a shame. I like Virtue's Last Reward far more than I like 999.
Yeah, I think so.
But apparently 999 is okay. It looks like a bunch of these... I don't even know what language these stories are written in.
Maybe you heard
Esperanto? And Farsi?
Cyan door opening. Now, 10 seconds after Dio leaves,
Okay, yeah, these aren't real stories. Sorry.
0 hours, 13 minutes, 10 seconds.
There are a bunch of characters that do not show up on my screen.
No.
BBN484COM.
Spoilers, Michael.
Oh, no. Oh, man. Great, I'm ruining this one paragraph story for everyone.
Okay, so Dio's left, K walked in, and then immediately
if
left.
K was telling the truth, this is where he begins to
Actually, no, I think this story is supposed to have a bunch of non-English characters in it, because it's listed as having only one word.
So I'll fast forward, alright?
Can you just submit anything to fanfiction.net? Like, could I just submit a 2-word story that just says the end to, like, one of the Sonic fanfiction pages?
You should see something you recognize in a
You
minute.
can, you're not supposed to. It's a short story. They've got regulations, but the regulations aren't always enforced.
Yeah, I was going to say, judging by the things you guys read on the Bad Fanfiction podcast, it doesn't seem like there's any sort of quality control here.
Yeah. We're back to 21
The only
minutes
quality
before the
control
primary
they
doors
entered
open.
was
For our arbitrary time
somebody got
code,
really
that's
mad
0
about
hours and
M-rated
29
fanfics
minutes.
appearing.
1 minute later, at 0 hours,
Like
30
Archie
minutes,
Comics got really
K
mad at
heads to
them.
the floor A
Really?
warehouse.
And so they said, okay, no more Archie Comics fanfictions at all on our website. And we'll do a general cleanup of the site. So they deleted a bunch of M-rated
That's all the
stories.
footage I wanted to show you. I've looked at it carefully, and I think it has something to tell us.
Ooh, I like this. Okay, so here's a 999 fanfic. It's called
Well, I
Abby's
can't
Dead,
say
the
for
final
sure.
fanfic by
This
Abby
footage
Khan.
makes for pretty shaky evidence, but it
The,
does
died?
suggest a very likely
How did she write the
culprit.
fanfic?
Who do you think
The
it
description is Clover has an exciting story to tell. Not exciting, exciting.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, and I can't read this out loud because it starts with very inappropriate things.
Do they involve axes in any way?
It seems like this is a quote from the author and then the author's friend.
And they were still going on about this murder right here. They're rehashing what happened for a second time now.
Oh, they're going to rehash it again before you actually get to make a decision, which is interesting. You get to make a decision in this pathway.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'll show both decisions, unless Michael from 5 months ago
got impatient.
I can't go back and play this again. I don't think I made this video in April, but I guess it's possible. Oh, made it in April. Okay, so that's not
how about that?
5 months ago. That's a little bit longer. Oh, is this where we make the decision? Yes, it is. Okay, so who killed Luna? Oh.
Oh, nice. You're going to show the different paths.
Nice. Oh, we're getting Japanese audio for this time.
For what?
Japanese audio here.
Oh, just for fun?
It's a short cutscene. Yeah, how is Kay going to resuscitate her? Really? He's got a mask.
It's true. Well, she died anyway, so I'm not sure what could have been more dangerous.
Yeah.
She could have double died.
Well, it's too bad we didn't have Jetty here because he actually speaks Japanese, so he would be able to tell us if the translation is accurate.
Does he? Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, let's call him. We'll wake him up.
To a minor extent, yeah. I don't think he's fluent in Japanese.
Oh.
He can confirm that in English is in Japanese.
That's a very limited use, but...
Okay, doste somo means what makes you so sure. I'd better send this message to Jetty. Doste somo. Okay, so I'm sending this message to Jetty on Facebook. We'll see if he actually responds.
You think so? Luna could still have been
Oh, we're
alive
back to
after
English.
Clover left the room. Dio and K both went into the room after Clover. Either of them could have killed Luna too.
Oh my, so this is a fanfic about Clover killing June. That's not nice. And it's calling her a bad name. I didn't think Clover disliked June that much.
I hope there's at least one axe-related pun somewhere in that fanfic.
It ends with the Freddy Krueger reference.
Does it?
Use your fucking head for once. You're gonna get us killed.
Oh, okay. So I'm reading the video description to see what happens next. We're gonna search the facility and Sigma's going to kind of lose it.
Yeah.
In this video?
Yep.
Which means
I don't remember that.
Luna was dead. Is that what you're
When
getting
he
at?
sees something, he's just going to just start laughing like a maniac.
Huh, okay.
And then he's going to give us a lecture on why laughing like a maniac is one of your 2 options when you see dead bodies.
Man, it's been so long since I played this game. I think it's been like 2 years now.
Yeah. we writing slash fanfic about Santa and J-Dog? They're not a couple. They're not even close to being a couple.
I feel like if you go, like, there's got to be some sort of pairing for every character in 999 with J-Dog.
Except for Ninth Man.
I will write that one. That's a travesty. That's not included.
Complete Santa / J-Dog. AUOOC, all the good stuff. Okay, so it's out of character. Good, at least they admit it. I think J-Dog and June, that makes sense. They're totally into each other in the game.
Doesn't make any sense. June's a horrible person. We've been over this in the 999 videos, I think.
Well, he doesn't realize it, or... Is she a more horrible person than, Dio?
Ooh, that's a good question. So, we've already shown the Dio pathway, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I was on that.
Yeah, that was the first one we did.
He's more of like a, I feel like June is more of a mastermind kind of evil plotter, and Dio's more of like a, sort of like a follower, like he's being directed.
Yeah, I'm gonna blow you to pieces.
That's pretty much what I thought too. And it does seem like Clover had a motive.
Right, she'll trick somebody else into blowing you into pieces.
Exactly.
Yes. The movement of the A-B rooms convinced
So
Alice
I think I'd be
that
more
Luna
afraid
killed
of
the old
June than
woman.
I would be of Dio.
Once Clover realized that, she probably started to think that Luna had killed Alice to keep her from telling anyone else the truth. She
I actually kind of like this pathway. It's very well done and thought out.
Yeah, I think the Luna pathway is one of my favorite
Maybe she knew something
paths
we
if I was to
don't.
pick.
That's one of these things
But
where
Clover
after
didn't
the
get what
bad
she
ending,
wanted. Luna didn't
I'd be
confess.
interested to see what
Then,
happens
during
after
her
it.
interrogation,
Uh-huh.
something happened. It's hard to say what. Luna might have said something that set Clover off, or maybe she admitted to a crime she didn't commit.
I think that's why I like the Luna pathway the most. It's like all three of the various endings. It's like you could write a decent story as to what happens after the game ends.
With all of them.
Most of the pathways, it's like, okay, the game ended and now they're just going to search the facility for Quark.
She would have been exploring the infirmary with Alice and Kay. That seems the most likely place to find it. Anyway.
Okay, so let me see. We've got Clover and J-Dog.
We don't have any proof, so keep it quiet, okay?
I'm trying to read all these various shippings we've got here. So who did we have? We have Clover, June, and Santa as the three main.
No.
Those are the only three?
Clover, Tenmyouji, and Quark went.
We'll see if there's more.
Nothing about the old woman or Alice's murders either.
Oh, there's a silly parody, which is not actually very silly.
Still unknown.
Oh well, you tried, author. I'm not actually reading these stories, I'm just reading the descriptions, and if the description specifically says so.
So
that it's silly.
We've got a couple of descriptions where it's like, okay, well, it's got Ace, 7, and J-Dog in this story.
I sure hope so.
But, I don't think it implies romance.
I thought there'd be at least one person out there that'd try to ship him with everyone.
Oh, here we go, Snake and J-Dog. You're right. Wow. Who are we missing? We're missing Ace and J-Dog.
And 7. Don't forget 7.
And 7.
And, what's her face? Clover? Luna?
No.
Clover? Lotus.
How's nobody shipped her with anyone? Because she's with 7, obviously, yeah.
She's too old.
Yeah.
That wouldn't make any sense.
Fans don't like her. That's impossible. Wow, they have the captain. Oh, absolutely no stories. Okay, how many stories with Lotus? 4 stories with Lotus. 1 story with the Ninth Man.
Only
2
one.
stories with the dead captain.
How does the dead captain get more stories than the Ninth Man? That poor Ninth Man. So unloved.
Yeah.
Guy X also gets 2
All
stories.
Right, let's start looking. We'll
Who's
go
Guy
through the
X?
crew quarters and work our way toward the elevator. Got it?
A corpse that they didn't know who the corpse was? I don't remember. I'd have to replay the game. Anyway. Have our heroes finally caught up with anybody yet?
No, they spent like 2 hours manipulating the videotapes looking for evidence, and I think the other 2 people just left.
Well, I think it's because the nonary game has like officially ended at this point. They went through the 3rd room. There are no more rooms for them to explore.
You search rooms 1 and 2.
I mean, no
I'll
more
take 3 and
death
4.
trap rooms for them to go through with fear of being killed. Wasn't that it? Like it was part of the announcement that's like, now all doors have been unlocked because you've completed round 3.
At this point, can't they just do the nonary game over and over again?
But they can do the Ambidex voting over and over again.
The Ambidex voting,
but
yeah,
not the
I mean.
nonary game. The going through the room.
Start from the beginning, yeah.
Pretend you didn't solve that puzzle already.
Yeah, there's someone in there has reset up everything.
While they weren't looking.
We had a very dedicated janitor on staff.
Yeah. Now we're talking about death again.
Sigma's got very contemplative.
I think Quark is still missing in this pathway. Yeah, he is.
No good. There's no one in 3 or 4.
They could at least search the rooms to try to find Quark.
I really like Phi's depressed pose.
Yeah.
She just sort of like collapses.
What's wrong?
Whoa.
We need to get it together. What
She got really
right
close.
now?
I think this is like the only time she does that.
Right. I know how you feel, but sitting around being miserable isn't going to help
I see that
anybody.
a lot in games
Let's go.
too, or in visual novels sometimes. Character just gets really, really close because it's not at all more expensive to do.
Yeah, they just zoom in a little bit.
I remember seeing one horrible visual novel where it's like the more excited or more emotional the character is, the closer they are to you. And so I like wanted to purposely pick the answers that would make them mad, so they would at least back away because I don't want to see your eyeballs.
You're pretty soon it's just their pupil. It's all that's in the picture.
Yeah, it is definitely the case where their eyeballs covered up at least 60%, 70%
of the screen.
the screen.
Had they not seen these bodies before?
Nope. This is the only time we actually see them. There's another pathway where they're questioning what happened to Clover and T-Dog, but they don't know what happened to them.
Oh man, the lead ball turned to ice. That's some sort of alchemy that I'm just not aware of.
Yeah.
Lead should not be turning to ice.
So it's, I don't know what you would call it. It's consistent that they die in the other pathway, but you don't know it unless you've done this pathway first. Maybe the author just felt like writing 8 characters is too much. We'd better start knocking them off.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be my fan fiction for Zero Escape 3. Everyone dies. The end. Sigma goes back in time and becomes his own grandfather. And I don't get to make my burrito emporium.
No! This is the dark pathway. This is the darkest ending of all endings.
I've actually been making better burritos, but I still can't make a burrito within 15 minutes, so my fast food burrito corporation is not getting off the ground.
That's actually a very slow burrito. So you'll have to advertise it as a slow burrito.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
don't know, apparently the last time I made a burrito, I did super fantastic sauce.
The chain's been
Nice.
looped around the pipe below
That
the
is
sink.
an important part of any burrito. So,
I used
Dio's the one who did this, right? Is that what we're assuming here?
That's what we're presuming. Who else could it be?
Look, see the
Oh, well,
red marks
we're
on
gonna
their
find out
wrists?
why.
They were trying to get the
How
handcuffs
does he
off.
handcuff them to the sink? Do
Where did
we
he
find
get...
out?
Apparently he also had handcuffs inside his many pockets.
Probably not.
Well, how did he overpower two people and then handcuff them both to the sink? I don't understand.
That is a very good question. Ew. Okay, he used the knife. Why did he do that?
Then the blood on his clothes probably came from
Okay,
that
now
wound.
I'm starting to
Don't see
remember.
any others, at least. If this was the only
In
one,
another
it
pathway
doesn't look
where,
fatal. I think he died
Tenmyouji
from this
uses,
cut.
like, the luminol to determine whose bracelet has blood on it,
Mm-hmm.
to figure out who killed the old woman. So I think we're going to be left to presume that he used the luminol, he sprayed it on Dio.
Yeah.
And then that's why Dio just attacked the two of them. Although I still don't understand why he didn't just do that with T-Dog. Why did he have to also kill Clover?
Clover just happened to wander in the room at the wrong time.
She was at the wrong time, yeah. I mean, T-Dog's hand there is looking pretty pale.
Yeah, I think T-Dog died, like, before this game began. He's been a corpse for a while.
Yeah. Well, that's a spoiler alert for game number 3.
Yeah. He was dead the entire time. The calls were coming from inside the house.
Yeah.
Dio actually did have a rabbit inside his top hat. Actually, he had another Dio under his top hat.
Yeah, the big Dio is actually a robot, and the little Dio is controlling him.
There's no mistake.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Ratatouille, but with robots.
Yeah. I was gonna say I saw that movie, except I didn't actually see Ratatouille. I saw a different movie. I had 2 copies of Ratatouille on DVD, and I haven't watched the movie once.
Why'd you have 2 copies?
They were both gifts.
Oh, okay.
It was like, Michael, you like vermin. Here's a movie about vermin.
Sigma, calm
In
down.
France,
Just because his bracelet's off
French
doesn't
vermin
mean
is the
Quark's
best
dead.
type of vermin, actually.
That's my favorite
In
kind.
fact, this could be good news. A ray of hope. Yeah, if Quark still had his bracelet on, then he would have ended up like Tenmyouji
Phi is
and Clover.
very insistent that Quark is still alive.
That means he might have managed to avoid getting
I don't think he
injected
is.
with tubercularity.
Who is his partner? Like, who is his partner supposed to be? Which door is he supposed to go through?
He was supposed to go through with Tenmyouji and Clover.
Okay.
So that must mean that Alice or Luna were the partners for
Maybe he got out then.
the Phi and Sigma,
Okay.
Dio and K.
Okay.
Because otherwise K and Dio couldn't have gone through because they didn't have the third bracelet.
Why do you have to be so pessimistic? Have you actually seen Quark dead? Huh? You need to think positive,
I mean,
Sigma.
I don't
Reality is what we believe it to be.
Reality is what we believe it to be. Really? I believe they're still alive.
And then they just pop up. Oh, how did that happen?
That's enough.
Back off.
Quark is definitely alive.
You're too close.
He
You're in our
has to
personal
be.
space here, lady.
He has to be. I refuse to believe he isn't. I can't let an innocent kid like that get killed.
Why does she have such a personal connection to Quark?
I don't know.
Like, she's fine with Clover and T-Dog being killed.
Yeah,
but
they're dead. That's fine. Who cares? But Quark?
no, he needs to share his nachos with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but getting back to what I was going to say a moment ago, are we just supposed to presume that Quark is in that one room where we sometimes see him, where he's like in cryogenic sleep?
It's been a while since I've played the game, but that's where I was assuming he was.
In every single pathway, yeah.
Yeah. If he goes missing, that's where he's hiding, or not hiding, but that's where he's been put.
If the killer saw it, That would make for an obvious motive.
Yes, but, like, you think it would be very difficult to handcuff somebody to a sink.
Yeah, that's
odd.
You sort of gotta get in there and to handcuff them, and, like, you think the other person, when you're handcuffing the first person, the other person would be fighting you.
Yeah, because you have to spin, I mean, the handcuff, you'll notice, does a loop around the pipe, so...
Uh-huh. I mean, he clearly had a knife. I don't know why he didn't stab him and leave him.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, are we saying he knocked him unconscious?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a look at Clover, too. Give me a minute. Look, see your thigh? Doesn't it look like there's something written there? Sorry, I'll have to move your leg a little bit.
Okay, so there's actually a picture on Tumblr of, I don't think it's supposed to be Quark, I think it's Quack, so it's a duck with Quark's hat.
Hang on, I feel like I've seen that somewhere.
Huh, okay.
Why is this a thing?
016. I know I've seen it somewhere. It's no use. Can't remember.
And I feel really bad our heroes are not able to understand that's...
Anyway, these numbers have to have something to do with the killer. She must have written them after she got hit with a soap
Anyway, 016 is a number we saw in it's one of the Gollum units.
I think she probably used those last minutes to tell the rest of us
L016,
who
but
killed her.
that's clearly Dio backwards. Just look on the other leg.
I know.
That is in fact what it is.
Uh-huh. That's not that hard. Like, when I was playing this game, I figured that out right away, and I thought they would too. Like, I just assumed they're like, oh yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying he did
But,
it, just...
not so much. I know how you feel, Sigma.
Ew, so there's cosplay of somebody dressing up like the rabbit.
Yikes.
Why?
Why would you do that to yourself?
Why?
That's a person that's just given up. That's a cry for help is what that is.
And when you look for Clover Tenmyouji cosplay, a picture of Apollo Justice shows up. Because he's apparently a character in the game.
I've missed the Apollo Justice pathway. It's a shame, that'd be a good one.
Oh, and here's a picture of Luna punching the rabbit. I like that. I feel like this is something that should have taken off, but really didn't in the fan fiction world, was just doing this with a bunch of other series.
What do you mean?
Like, you know...
Oh, just...
Phoenix Wright version. What would it be like if Phoenix Wright characters were put in this death game?
In the non-Ray game.
Yeah.
I want to see that with Mario. Someone write that fan fiction, please. I want the Mario 999 crossover.
Yeah. I know somebody started, like, the My Little Pony. Putting the ponies into it, but they didn't think it through, and they gave up after, like, one chapter.
Did Diana ever finish hers? I feel like she was doing a Game Cola one, like, 10 years ago. I think we were all in high school at the time. I don't remember.
She was, and every now and then it, like, gets updated in the Game Cola article queue.
Uh-huh. The subtitle should just be, like, never gonna happen.
She keeps switching the subtitles, so, like, one of the subtitles was, I heard Michael and Jetty complaining that I haven't done this, so now I'm updating.
luminol.
That's a very passive-aggressive way to update your article. I'll show you, jerks.
Speaking of which, I'm apparently supposed to remind you to write more articles.
Oh, I should really do that. I've got another idea all set up, and I pulled the screenshots, but I just haven't gotten around to writing it yet. It's another one of the review dumpster dives.
That's it?
Okay, so currently, Diana's fanfiction, it's 10-10-10, Chapter 10, draft, now titled, Someday This Might Get Done. Let's allow room for error here.
So?
I think she's being honest that she might...
We should write a fanfiction of her fanfiction.
Well, I feel like she might be able to finish it before the third game is done.
Well, I don't think the third game's coming out, so as long as she's finished it sometime.
We've also got a lot of long overdue things in the draft pile too, so...
I probably got one. Do I have any in there? I feel like I've got one in there somewhere.
I don't think that person's on staff anymore. Yeah, you do. You have Buyer Beware, the Almost a Good Idea edition.
Oh, yeah.
And Virtue/Reward Playthrough Part 2, Two Shades of Grey. So that was 4.
Oh,
you were going to write something for the second storyline, and we're on storyline number 8.
I had such a good subtitle for that one, too, since it was you and Diana doing it.
Yeah, so this was last modified November 14th, 2013.
Okay, so as long as I'm gonna get it posted. I think Nathaniel already put one up for the second.
I know he put one up somewhere.
I'll put this up anyway. The 1 year anniversary when I started writing this. Did you do one of the Crystallis blind playthroughs?
I did not. I feel bad about it now.
Yeah.
I
wanted to, but then it slipped my mind. But I'm seeing an icon for the 6 videos over here on the little toolbar on the right.
Yeah. So all 6 of them raced to the beginning, and I feel like it probably would have done badly.
Yeah, I haven't watched. Oh man.
Yeah, so this is where Sigma's going to start losing it. And you can kind of see why this is a long video. It's because we haven't even started the nonary voting yet.
No. I don't know how that axe got put in there in that angle, though.
He was standing in the perfect position.
Uh-huh.
Well, we're going to get a long explanation of how it must have happened, but... It does seem impossible that they could mutually kill each other.
Yeah,
at those
with
angles.
axe like that, yeah.
Although, I'm wondering if K fell down after he was killed, or if he... No, he must have been alive for several seconds afterwards.
Yeah.
Because he still had to stab Dio.
Uh-huh. I feel like that might not be a fatal wound to K. I don't know much about axe blows. But, like, I don't think that hits anything vital there, does that? That's just, like, his shoulder blade, and it's not even that deep.
It does look like it's hit his shoulder, and he's wearing armor, by the way. I should point that out.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like that would kill him. I don't know here.
Oh, here we go. We get crossover stories of 999. Virtue/Reward, obviously. My Little Pony. Ugh. Pokemon, Fire Emblem, Hunger Games, which is basically the same thing.
Yeah, that's not that much different.
Yeah, I think that was it, because I wanted to see if there were a lot of Hunger Games stories. Basically the same thing. Everybody gets put in this death match.
Uh-huh. You just want to see franchises fight to the death.
Basically, yeah. Let me see... Actually, there are like a gajillion Hunger Game crossover fanfics, so apparently this happens a lot. I read the Star Trek Hunger Games fan fiction. That's what I wanted to see, but it wasn't that good.
Aw.
It was Spock and Uhura both put in the Hunger Games, and none of the other characters are. So I'm like, why are the other 5 Star Trek characters around when they're not going to be fighting to the death?
Don't make me
Wait,
keep
so it's just
saying
Spock
it.
and
Barb is
Uhura
still
and
out there
just like
somewhere.
random people?
Yeah, them and yeah, just random people.
I wonder who lives to the end.
Wait, what's this? Somebody sent me a message. Somebody sent me a message on Facebook, but it is not. It wasn't Jetty. Never mind.
Dang it.
I don't know why our heroes are so insistent that there is no 10th person when there is. We found the dead woman's body, right? She's number 10.
Yeah, she is clearly a 10th person.
The spear has been thrust all the way through Dio's stomach. Do you really think a child?
Yeah, Dio's wound is definitely fatal there. I feel like if you get impaled onto a wall with anything, you're probably gonna die.
Mary, go away. You shouldn't be looking at this.
Are you
You'll
insane?
have nightmares.
And just when would I have done that?
This isn't age
I've
appropriate.
been with you this
The
whole
5-year-old
time.
girl is trying to see what's on my screen.
This is a bad idea.
Well, I'm one of these people that, I can't stand it when somebody's watching my computer screen while I'm using it.
It's because you watch too many murder videos, Michael.
Okay, somebody talking to me about Nancy Drew. It's not very important.
Oh, Nancy Drew's very important. How dare you?
It's important news that I can't reveal yet, so...
Ooh.
Right now it's secret Facebook only news.
Ooh. It's the best kind of news.
Yeah. Here's a hint, there's going to be another game with her. Oh man. I think this one might be a mystery. No, wait, they're going to adapt the series where she grows up and goes to college.
I was hoping for a crossover with her and the Boxcar Children. Is that ever going to happen?
I don't think so. They did
Ugh.
She's done a couple of crossovers, but I mean, it's just with people that they own.
Oh.
So like the same people own Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew, so there's a lot of Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew stuff because they don't have to pay any royalties.
Uh-huh.
I think she's also shown up with like the Bobbsey twins. Are those owned by the same people? I don't know.
I don't know. But what Sherlock Holmes? I think he's in the public domain now, isn't he?
He is, yeah. And there's weirdness because there are like 5 or 6 Sherlock Holmes books. I'm gonna say like there are 6 of them, and then one of them isn't public domain.
Really?
So 5 of them are, and one of them was written in like 1925, so it's not public domain yet.
Huh.
So,
yeah, I know. I think there's 4 novels, and then I know there's a ton of short stories.
Yeah. So that's what I was saying. Actually, I've got the complete Sherlock Holmes somewhere in this room. I could just pick it up. But yeah, there are 4 novels and a bunch of short stories, and I think the last book of short stories is still under copyright.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so the people who own that book were recently, like last year, last year, kind of tried to sue the Sherlock Holmes TV show.
It's not a name I've ever heard of
Which
before.
one? There's several.
The one that's currently running.
There's a couple still currently running. So there's the one on the BBC called Sherlock, and then there's the one on CBS or NBC with Lucy Liu and someone else who isn't Lucy Liu. I don't remember.
About 15 centimeters long.
You're right.
Probably about 3
I think it was the BBC
tall
one.
And 3 millimeters wide.
Anyway, they lost the lawsuit, so the TV show can continue. I think it's because there was one character who appeared on the show who was mentioned in the one book that they have the copyright for.
Well, that was only mentioned in the one book, you mean?
I think so. I don't know.
Because Sherlock Holmes is obviously mentioned in all the books, but he still went into public domain when his first one expired.
Mm-hmm. There's probably like a ancillary character like his brother.
Well,
Yeah, Mycroft. I feel like he's
He gets mentioned in like 2 stories, and he's not an important character, but every single like adaptation tries to make him into more he is. Also with the one policeman that shows up the most often.
Oh, Lestrade.
Yeah.
Right.
But, you know, I'm reading the first book, he's never mentioned once. There's always a different policeman in every single case.
Uh-huh. I just played a Sherlock Holmes game, so I know all the characters you're referring to by name.
Oh, well, I'm actually working on a Sherlock Holmes game, so let's see if that actually gets published.
Oh, interesting.
I wrote a text-based game based on the first one, so... Spoiler alert, 90% of the text is copy-pasted from the actual book.
But there are going to be My Little Pony references, right? That's the other 10%?
Oh yeah, that's got to be it, yeah. I'm sure there's Sherlock Holmes pony fanfics.
That would match up with what we saw.
Really? Okay, so the most popular pony fanfic crossover is Sonic the Hedgehog at 410, followed by Doctor Who with 284.
I feel like the actual Sonic the Hedgehog games, at some point the writers forgot that they were writing about a hedgehog because the stories just get crazy.
So let me see. What was I talking about? I forget. Sherlock Holmes, yeah.
Oh yeah, Sherlock Holmes.
Star Trek Online too, okay. Why are there so many different Sherlock things? Okay, so they've got 12 crossovers with Sherlock, 1 with Sherlock Holmes, and 3 with Sherlock Holmes.
Later. First, I want you to have a look at something else. Don't you remember what I said?
Not related to the story Sherlock Holmes.
There was the knife.
This is the accountant Sherlock Holmes.
This.
Okay, apparently there are 2 different things called Sherlock Holmes on fanfiction.net.
Interesting.
In any case, this is where Sigma finally realizes, hey, that key we found in the last 2 videos ago, this is the only pathway where he realizes what it's for, right? No, he remembers it in the Sigma path, or in the K pathway, right?
So, Alice,
I think so.
Right?
Doesn't he open it in the K pathway? I can't remember.
He opens it at the very end.
Yeah.
I remember we had Daniel Castro on that one. He played along with it very well. At the end, they undid his face, and he just goes, "Oh my gosh, that's who K really is. I have no idea who that is." Because he didn't recognize the face. I'm like, oh,
it was you all along.
Yes. Sigma actually killed everybody.
You remember this, right?
Well, no, it looks like his helmet was locked the whole time.
Yeah,
I'm sure they're going to try to unlock it and it's not going to work.
Yeah, it's some sort of weird key. Or I think the suit has to be powered on or something for it to work.
No, too much blood in the gears.
Oh, is that it?
It's no good. Can't get it open.
For plot purposes, yeah.
Maybe the suit is powered, and it needs to be on in order to open.
I guess you're right, yeah.
With this axe in here.
It doesn't... shoddy machinery doesn't work when somebody sticks an axe through it.
Yeah.
I think so. At any rate, the key fits perfectly. I don't have any doubt it's for removing Kay's suit. I wonder...
Anyway, I need to go through this bad fan fiction sometime later.
Do you guys have the next story all set up?
We do not. We have like a list of stories, and Paul has actually officially joined the group.
Oh, has he? He's coming back just for the bad fan fiction.
Well, I still haven't checked him over.
You know, it's on Facebook. There's a Hacks and Slash group where we pick stories.
Oh, is he coming back to record, or is he just?
He's just part of the group. So now, whenever we say, "Hey, this is a story we could possibly do," he'll get notified.
Gotcha.
He's on the mailing list, but it's Facebook, so it's somehow different from the mailing list.
Yeah.
Avengers 999 crossover. Let's see this. Basically, the Avengers, Fury, Loki, and June have to play the Nonary games. Why? What?
Kay might have taken the spray from Tenmyouji.
Why is she the only 999 character here?
The White Doors before we did.
And she apparently is the narrator.
Anyway, there's something
She's just like
see.
the announcer. She's like the sports caller.
Okay, well, I'll definitely put that on my list of ideas.
Yeah. If Kay used the spray
I don't know anything about
died,
Pokemon, so I can't do that.
That's okay.
I want to do a Fire Emblem fanfic, but it's impossible to do them because there are like so many characters.
All right, do it.
And I've only played the off games that aren't super popular.
I haven't played, like, I've got a bunch of them, I just never played them.
Just as
I know they're supposed to be good.
Look, Dio's left wrist.
They are, but I'm more like, I'm more in line with Japan on this, on Fire Emblem, if that makes sense.
5 people with serious bleeding.
Like they asked American people to, like, you know, their top 10 list, rank the games. And the American ranking is the exact opposite of the Japanese list.
Except for the luminol, the bracelet looks
so our worst game is their best game, and so on.
Bracelet after being hit with an axe or stabbed with a spear, and then spray it with luminol. It doesn't make sense. Right.
No, I don't, Sigma. That was like 8 videos ago. Oh, good. Flashback.
Please, just do it.
Well, that's useful. Like Phoenix Wright, where they give you a flashback of something that happened half a minute ago.
Yeah, Phoenix Wright goes way overboard with that.
That happened in Case 5 of the first game.
That would have meant he was looking for either Alice's blood or the old woman's.
They recently released a bunch of details from, like, the creator of
but whatever the case,
Phoenix Wright.
Tenmyouji seemed to think that whoever had this
Details from his production notebooks.
Just relax, okay?
Some of them were good, some of them weren't.
Neither one of you is zero.
I think it was case number 2 that it was going to have a different culprit. But somebody pointed out that all of the culprits in the game are male. And so he sent a letter, he sent like a memo back to the guy saying, he's like, well, if this was the United States, we'd be sued for gender discrimination.
There's a possibility that
Well, for which game?
Phoenix Wright number 1.
But they didn't change it then, right? Because
well, no, they changed it, and so the culprit of game number 3, that's why the culprit of game number 3 is a woman. I mean, case number 3. Somebody complained because all the culprits are guys in that game.
I thought the culprit in case number 3 was that he accidentally killed himself, wasn't it? Or am I thinking of a different... The first game, right? That's the samurai
case?
Yeah, the
first game, you're right. So, it was 7 years ago or something that somebody fell off the stairs and landed on the pike.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the producer, what's her face, D. Vasquez.
Oh. I forgot about her. She was such a good player.
Yep. So I think that explains why they added an extra, like, thing with her.
Whatever. We need to get back to the Floor A warehouse. Hurry!
Uh-oh, small child doesn't want to go to sleep. Even though she's been dozing off in the background for a while. We can't let her watch the Nonary game.
No, this is not for 5-year-olds. I, however, have my baby propped up in front of the monitor because he has no idea what's going on.
Let's see. Okay, so the guy who made Phoenix Wright wanted games that even his mother could pick up and play.
I think my mom stopped playing, like, around Pac-Man.
Yeah. When sitting down to write Ace Attorney, he has an internal ranking system of each episode's importance. The most important episode is always episode 1, followed by 2, then followed by the final episode of the game.
The most important episode of the game is the first episode?
What? While people may wonder why the first and second episodes are more important than the final one, he says it's the role of the first episode is to make players like the game, followed by the second one, which solidifies their interest. So
but the first episode's always the throwaway episode that just introduces you to the mechanics.
Yeah, but for some reason he lists that as most important.
He just really likes Winston Payne.
Yes.
Why
the
would
class
they run
trial
away?
thing actually happened to him in real life, but nobody showed up to save him, so that's why he didn't become an attorney.
You must have taken
Here we
one
go.
from Dio
Okay, so
and K
episode 3
before
was
we got
originally
to the
going to
rec
feature a
room.
male
We
culprit
know they
until the
went
lead
through a
character
white door.
development, who's a
Remember?
girl, pointed out all
We
the
saw
villains were
footage in the
male.
security office. That means they had a star key just like we did.
So they decided to change the culprit from male to female.
Right.
Oh boy. And then they had a debate on what to do with the female character. Some thought it'd be weird to have a female director for an action show,
Wow.
while others wondered what they could do about the director role if she couldn't fill it.
That's impossible.
In the end, he promoted her from scriptwriter to director.
That's funny. They were like trying to combat like cries of sexism, but then they were like, "Hey, wait, women can't be directors of action shows." Like that's worse than what they had in the first place.
Okay, yeah, okay, so apparently what's-his-face, the creepy guy, Salmonella, was going to be just the scriptwriter. He got promoted from scriptwriter to scriptwriter/director.
Okay.
And the female culprit director was promoted to producer. Okay. It's still an awful case.
See, that's the case where that is actually what got me really interested in the game. Like, it's not that great of a case, but it was the first one that sort of tricked me. At least at first, where it turns out that I forget, not Will Powers, but whoever the guy who dies is the one in the samurai suit.
Yeah.
That was the first time I was like, whoa, that's actually pretty clever. But yeah, like the villain is pretty terrible, and a lot of the side characters are just boring, like Penny Nichols.
Yeah. I feel it's one of those cases where it's like if it had been a 2-day case that would have been fine, but they had to stretch it out to 3 days. And so that's why it's really awful with that one day. It's hard to figure out what to do. There's a lot of back and forth pointlessly. Okay, Maya was originally going to be a lawyer in training. He never bothered to write out any backstory for Gumshoe before he started writing.
And that's what you think we'll
But then
find
when he
in there?
figured to start ending Gumshoe's sentences with pal, then he just threw out
Well, there could be anything in there. So,
personality
no,
came
not
out of
really.
that.
It was based entirely around pal.
That would make things easy. We'd settle things right now and then get the hell out.
You can see, because it's saying, like, Edgeworth at one point, he says, I'm going to cut your salary,
You don't need to keep asking me.
That becomes a major plot, a major character point.
I really need this job. He's like Gil from The Simpsons.
Yeah. Ever wonder why Gumshoe always has a red pencil tucked behind his left ear? It's a holdover from when he was going to be a big fan of horse racing.
Huh. Is horse racing, is that big in Japan?
I have no idea. It's in one of the Professor Layton games,
no
number
here.
5, Miracle Mask. They go to a horse racing track, but you probably didn't get that far because that game just makes your eyes want to bleed.
Yep, I quit playing that one.
Which I feel is a problem with Phoenix Wright Professor Layton versus Professor Layton is because they still use the eyes make you want to bleed models.
Yeah, see, I haven't even played that yet. I gotta get around to that.
But the Phoenix Wright characters look relatively
Probably
good.
can't use it unless we know what those are.
It's just so weird. Like, why can't they get in a consistent voice
Sure,
for Phoenix?
give it a shot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, just as I thought.
The idea of kid to do
Might as well forget
didn't
about
work.
this
Great
thing
job,
for
Phi.
now. You can't get anywhere without a password. See if we can find any other clues. This is the director's
Just put in
office
0
after
and
all.
for password, put in
If we turn the
password.
place
Maybe he's an
upside down,
idiot.
we're bound to find something. Shall we?
Okay, so Larry was going to be in episode 4, and after the fact, they decided they put him in episode number 1.
Oh, is the
So he's just going to be like a one-shot character, but then they put him in episode number 1, and I guess it worked.
I think Larry's my least favorite reoccurring character in the series.
We don't have that many recurring characters, so...
Well, they got Wendy Oldbag. They got
joy.
what's her face? The girl with the afro.
I have a picture of the original storyline. Our original storyboard for the second game. It's not supposed to be the judge in that cutscene. It was supposed to be an evil demon because he was playing Devil May Cry and thought it was cool. Pearl was originally going to be the same age as Maya and would have been a one-shot rival character, but somebody thought it'd be more dramatic if she was younger than Maya. So the author channeled his inner little girl and wrote her as an 8-year-old. He found her so adorable, he put her in multiple episodes.
Interesting.
He actually liked episode 3, the circus case.
I think that's the worst case in the entire game, just because the murder doesn't make any sense.
It contains 2 themes he wanted to explore: the difficulties in bringing people together to form a team, a person who tries against all odds to make something whole. Yeah, Mo the Clown was awful.
He was.
Anyway, so this was the part I said where it's like you can beat the Luna ending if you just look this stuff up on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And there's that 016 thing, L016, that's the Golem model.
Okay, so yeah, where do we pull out this ID and password from?
No idea, I can't remember.
Someone says it at some point, huh?
Other pathways.
Is the password Milky Voli or whatever?
Yeah, it's I Love Climb spelled backwards.
Yeah.
But it's not like we met I Love Climb. We don't know what that means yet.
Uh-huh. They don't actually tell you what it means. You have to figure it out sort of with yourself, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Well, we meet... no spoilers. Anyway, the next pathway we'll learn more about Climb.
I think it's some sort of... it's like the Virtue's Last Reward equivalent of Tang, right? It's some sort of flavored beverage.
What's wrong?
Yeah, it's gotta be, yeah.
What?
Oh, apparently there are notes for case number 4 at the second game. He had 3 different versions of it. So
it's actually one of my favorite cases.
One version based on Edgeworth's popularity, and another version based on we ran out of memory. Okay, so the first version he wrote out the first version, and then they got told Edgeworth was super popular.
Why are you bringing that up? It doesn't have anything to do with
And so
this.
he completely rewrote it to be like Edgeworth-centric.
What? I don't...
Oh yeah, is that the case where Edgeworth dramatically comes back?
Yeah, it's where Edgeworth dramatically comes back, and so he decides, we can't have Edgeworth in every case in this game anymore. Let's have him dramatically come back in this one.
Let me get right on that. Are you out of your damn mind? Tell me what the
hell that was version number 2 of that case, and version number 3 was he ran out of memory. Not enough memory on the game cartridge.
Oh.
So, Justice for All Episode 4 ended up being the 3rd game, case number 3. Oh gosh, that's the one with the hacker, that's the one with the programmer, and the old man who throws stuff at you.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Fine. You still don't make any sense.
How does Phi not think that he's 0 at this point?
I don't know. Apparently
they just... I knew the password to this computer. Can't tell you how.
All right. Let's see what this thing has for us.
Well, and she just kind of ignores the fact that she just threw, I just knew it, that's all.
Yeah.
Oh, can you tell me the ID that you put in?
Okay, so let's see. Game number 3. They were going to have Rookie Gumshoe, but then they didn't. They didn't have enough room on the cartridge, so they just changed the color of his suit.
Oh. I was like, I thought he was a rookie in that game, but yeah, he just had a cleaner suit.
Yep, that's all. And Sister Bikini ended up having to be made super short because they didn't have enough memory in the cartridge.
Really? If she was taller, that would take up more memory?
Apparently, her sprite, because they'd have to, make her have a waist or something.
Don't ask me. You seem to know more about all this than I do.
Old Bag was scheduled to appear in the game, but she was cut due to memory issues.
Maybe it'll make more sense.
However, it turned out they had just enough memory for her to come back as a cameo at the very end, so that's why she appears in the credits.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there were people that were really clamoring for her to come back.
There's something
that's brown-haired Luna.
It says, appearance after application of ABT.
They wanted to give her a lei to prove that she came back from Hawaii on vacation, but they couldn't put it in.
The lei takes up too much memory.
Larry is officially left-handed because he does the thumbs up with his left hand in the first game. So in the third game, they decided he's holding his brush in his left hand.
I think you can give thumbs up with either hand. Like, that doesn't really indicate, like,
Yeah,
what
but that's,
hand you are.
they officially decided. They had an argument about whether he's left-handed or right-handed. The person who said, hey, he does the thumbs up in the first game with his left hand, won the argument. Really silly development story. And Grossberg's suit changes color in the third game. He has like a red suit. Merely because they thought, the brown suit blended in with the background too much.
Interesting.
Okay, and the author admits he gave Grossberg hemorrhoids on a fluke. He says if he had written that on a different day, he probably wouldn't have done it.
I don't know how
Poor what a terrible condition to give him for no reason.
And Godot was going to drink bourbon whiskey and smoke to match his image of the hard-boiled guy. But they thought it would be a bad influence on kids, so they switched him to coffee.
Interesting.
And apparently there was a fan translation of game number 3, and that's why they picked up the name Dahlia.
Probably.
Really? Just like straight from the fan translation?
Dahlia Hawthorne's name is a nod to the fan translation. Because Dolly... I don't know, that's...
What if it was
As for her full name, as a fan of X-Japan, I really liked her name Dahlia and was listening to that album at the time.
To see how human she was. Whether or not 8 people would be able to figure out she was a robot. That might almost explain the whole game.
And they stole 2 names from Nathaniel Hawthorne novels. Nice, okay.
All of those things could have been designed to give us
That's where they got the name Pearl and the name Dahlia Hawthorne. I'm like, really? What a dirty thing to mention.
The girl locked in the room, and the 8 of us are the people outside it. Well, like I always say.
Oh, and here's the localizer trying to say that they weren't being, like, discriminatory with John Armstrong in game number 3.
Who's John Armstrong?
The French guy who says ooh la la and, like, has flowers and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Right now, I didn't know until I saw this stuff.
Back to the Chinese room.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said that.
This is such a weird explanation of the John Armstrong character. This doesn't make anything better. This makes it worse.
Look, forget about that.
Apparently we're supposed to make his personality when he acts... He has a drag personality, can't be French made in John, and we're supposed to pretend that's actually a real female person, completely separate from him, John Armstrong, who is male.
You think robots die? She was only injected with muscle relaxant.
I don't know, I've seen that in the weird dating sims too. They can't translate that. Apparently it's a Japanese thing.
10 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Weren't they looking for Quark here at some point?
Please enter.
No, they're not looking at Quark anymore.
No, they gave up. Okay.
Forget him.
Before the deadline has passed, any non-voting parties will automatically ally. That might not be the only thing she did. Look. What are the last 3 digits of her product ID? And where have we seen that before?
Oh, that's not 016, you doofuses.
Seriously.
We should go check her body. You remember where it is?
You've got 10 minutes left. Don't go check the body.
Got 10
oh,
minutes.
Luna's body. Okay.
It's not that far away.
That's true. She's gone.
Yeah.
This proves she's a good robot. Or a bad robot. Some sort of robot.
She's either a good robot or a bad robot. Oh yeah, that's
one of the two.
Were we just not paying attention during that huge plot twist? She's a robot.
I was trying to pay attention, but we were talking about Phoenix Wright, and then I forgot to talk about the video. Yeah, she's a robot.
We're talking about Phoenix Wright and alternate personalities, so Luna has a human personality and a robot personality.
Are we gonna get the ending done in this video?
Yep.
Huh. I remember the Luna ending taking forever, but I must be mistaken.
Well, this is going to be the bad Luna ending. We're gonna have a whole other video with the good Luna ending. Which, spoiler alert, bad things happen in that one too.
Bad things happen in like all the endings except for one of them.
Yeah. Anyway, this is the one that's slightly romantic, so we'll say it's the good ending. Luna hugs Sigma, and they break the fourth wall.
Remain until polling closes.
I don't know, I just have to wonder what the author of this game is doing if he's not working on Zero Escape 3.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. That's good. I think it was because the games didn't sell well enough or something. Like they don't have a publisher for this right now.
Yeah, well, also, I also wonder like what happened with the guy who does Phoenix Wright. It's like, well, what?
Wait.
Are they just paying him to come into work and do what when he's not actively writing a game?
Sigma.
Because, you know, he did the Phoenix Wright stuff and Apollo Justice. Then he did nothing for like a year, and then he started work on Ghost Trick. And he hasn't done anything for a couple of years after that, and now he's working on the upcoming Phoenix Wright game. That takes place in the early 1900s.
She's probably planning on
Which game is this? I don't even know what this is.
Oh my, this is... the fans are calling it the Great Ace Attorney, which is stupid.
Oh wait, is this the Sherlock Holmes kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the Great Gatsby, that's kind of not the same time. They're off by like 20, 25 years. You tried.
Yeah. Why are you asking though? Her BP doesn't matter right now. Have you totally lost it? She doesn't have her bracelet on. And besides, she's a golem. She isn't trying to get out. Whether she has 9 BP or not doesn't mean anything to her.
So do we betray her, our ally? I guess I want to see the chart.
Obvious? She wants to keep our BP below 9.
Well, if you think she's a killer robot, then it doesn't matter.
We could choose whatever we wanted, and we'd still get 9 BP. She's here to make sure that doesn't happen. 10 seconds remain until...
So yeah, seriously, we could just like ally, as long as she doesn't get inside her booth and vote.
Well, Phi thinks that she might go in her booth and betray because she's here to stop you guys from leaving because she's part of the game since she's a golem.
Mm-hmm. But we have this lovey-dovey flashback.
Yep. Did you really betray that face, Michael? Don't do it.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was Sigma.
Don't betray that. Oh, Michael.
Oh. This is part of the reason why recording the game takes so long, skipping from the zoomed in to the zoomed out.
Yeah, this is far more like. Do you have a PlayStation 4 or something like that?
Nope.
Because with that, there's just one button you press and it records gameplay footage for you.
Oh, that's nice.
On the controller, yeah. This is like I was just looking at this like this is a ton of work.
Oh yeah, I remember that thing in the game. Weren't people complaining about that?
Well, so it's kind of annoying because it only does it in 15-minute chunks, right? I don't know why. So like you'll hit the button twice to start it, and then it'll record for 15 minutes. and if you're like playing a game with dialogue, you have to sort of stop yourself beforehand, otherwise you're gonna have a weird cut in the middle of it.
Yeah, so with YouTube doesn't allow you to upload videos longer than 15 minutes, except under whatever conditions. So it feels like that's tailor-made to just steal gameplay and post it on YouTube.
Just put it straight up, yeah, exactly.
As long as they don't try to record footage from the dating sim company, they'll be fine.
Yeah, I was like, because like the PlayStation 4 is all about you like sharing gameplay footage now. So it's weird that some like nothing developer that's making bad dating sims, like I feel like they'd want to get any sort of publicity they can, right?
Yeah. Well, I understand there's also trouble with whatever that game is, wow, my voice died. Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, let's go have a look.
Which one?
Whichever one came out on PlayStation 4, and there was a big to-do about it because they were knocking people down left and right.
Interesting. I had not heard that. That's weird. Like, I feel like with the PlayStation 4, like, there's a dedicated button to just record your footage and put it up on the internet, basically, so I feel like I'm not sure why. If companies are concerned about that, then they're partnering with the wrong console.
Or subtracted accordingly. Please check your
also something like, wow, my voice.
Luckily, this video is about to end because Michael's about to go hoarse.
I'm gonna die. No, with like Grand Theft Auto, you're not allowed to. I mean, you're allowed to put up video footage, but the songs in the game are copyrighted, and so the videos get taken down because, you know,
the music company sucks.
The developers for the game got a license to put the songs in their video game, but you didn't get a license to put the songs on your YouTube channel. So I think that also happened to a lot of people.
5 of them are dead already, and Quark's bracelet is off.
That was in fact like the example that YouTube used in the copyright school information thing that they sent to me. Because apparently I'm a bad boy who doesn't know how copyright works. Apparently
all those dating sims you keep putting up, Michael.
Yeah, apparently it's a radio station in Grand Theft Auto.
But I'm sure it was part of some plan.
That plays real radio music. I don't know, that's what they mentioned.
I trust you, that makes sense. I have not played Grand Theft Auto since like Grand Theft Auto 2 or something like that. It was one of the two-dimensional top-down ones.
I am pretty sure that the series has not changed very much.
It's the same thing, huh?
I agree. I hoped you'd say that.
Well, there's always a balance. You want to keep things new, but if you change things too much, everybody's going to complain.
Very true.
This game does it quite well. I don't think anybody really complained about this one, saying, no, they need to go back to their roots of 999.
I guess I did sort of like the art style a little bit better in the first one. Like, this isn't bad. Like, it doesn't bother me like the Professor Layton game did, but...
It's clearly, like, first-year 3DS graphics.
Yeah, exactly. Because I played this on the Vita, too, and the graphics are marginally better.
It's a little bit crisper, yeah.
Yeah, it's crisper, but you could tell it was sort of made in mind with the limitations of the 3DS.
Well, I did play Professor Layton number 6, and the graphics there are much better.
Are they?
Yeah, they actually improved the character models and everything.
That's good, yeah.
Which is why going back to Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright was kind of painful. It's like, oh great, now we've got... This game was technically made a year and a half earlier, so the graphics aren't as good.
This is the last room. Well,
who's doing the Animaniacs playthrough?
It was Anna and a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
Interesting. Who actually played the game?
I did.
You did? I can't remember. There's one of the old Animaniacs games. It might have been for the Super Nintendo. Was one I really liked, but I was never able to beat as a kid.
This is the Game Boy one, which is based off of the It's based off it.
It's based off the Super Nintendo. Okay.
Yeah, it's basically the Game Boy port.
Yeah. I was like 5 or so at the time, so I was bad at everything. But I remember that game being really hard. But I'm not sure if it's just because I was young and stupid.
It's a mixture of both. I played the game, and there are certain parts which are just unfairly complicated. And so you can notice if you watch a video walkthrough, whenever I pause the game, that's me making a save state. Reloading from it at least 5 times.
For your participation. As the game is over, all doors
But you can tell the final boss battle of that game is definitely made with the it's definitely made for the Super Nintendo.
Is not possible.
Because it's almost impossible on the Game Boy just because the screen is so small.
Yeah, wait, what just did happen? Who opened the door?
We don't know.
Interesting.
Basically, our heroes started exploring just so that they would be far away when the door closes. Actually, I think we're gonna learn. I think it was Luna picked up Quark and left.
Man, why couldn't she wait for us?
She decided we're untrustworthy because we betrayed her.
Oh, dang it, Michael! This is all your fault.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just trying to get a complete game. I didn't actually betray her.
Okay. This is some alternate timeline that we shall not talk about after this.
So it would seem.
Oh, dang it, Rabbit.
And he's going to be the rest of the video.
Long time no see.
Why?
Remember your old pal Zero? I'm guessing somebody's hoping for an explanation about what the diddly.
Why isn't it not some bunny? Why is it somebody? What happened to the rabbit pun Zero?
I don't know. It said diddlio, and that's not a rabbit pun either.
He's been out of the game so long, the writer forgot how he was supposed to talk. Oh, there we go. Hoppy.
Yeah, we had
what's
Hoppy,
this explanation you've got? Well, let's start with little Quark. He was given an anesthetic that put him to sleep.
Oh, okay, so somebody knocked him out.
This is really nice of him to resolve all the unresolved plot points in this video that they couldn't think of another way to resolve.
Yes, but they didn't explain who first knocked him out and to begin with.
Well, that'll be explained in a different pathway, maybe.
Luna just hopped over there and picked it up. So I was right. Quark had 9 BP when the second round ended. Yep.
I think Zero's going to run away before answering all the questions, like who the murderer is.
That's for a different playthrough.
Just your life. The needles popped out and so on, but the points stayed the same.
Oh, so he still has 9 points, even though he was killed. Oh, good.
No, his bracelet was taken off because he was put in the...
Oh, yeah. Either that or they used aluminum foil, which...
No, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway.
I feel like that would be another good fanfic. Somebody realizes the aluminum foil could get all the bracelets off.
Alright, I think my tail is...
So just right away and ruins the game entirely.
Yeah, in pathway number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Not you. Well, the thing is...
Well, that was them really trying to push that.
Man, I was gonna say, that's a stretch right there.
I feel like maybe it makes more sense in Japanese.
You must be feeling pretty good if you're able to jump around like that. I mean, 6 people just died here. It's not really a big deal. That's just how you humans are, after all. So, as long as you make it, nothing else matters.
Yeah, this game is really trying to torture us for making that decision.
They're making you feel as bad as possible. Like, here, now you have to talk to the rabbit.
I know you gotta act tough. I mean, you chose betray. That means you don't trust Luna, right? Figures? She's a golem. She might even be a murderer. That's why you were planning.
I don't understand why the game's so insistent that we're a horrible person for not trusting the killer robot.
She's not a killer robot,
It's
though.
like, you racist robot hater. Don't you realize you hurt the robot's feelings?
Here's just about all used up. No, I won't wait. I don't like waiting. I waited once, and some half-witted reptile got the better of me because of it. After that, I learned to make sure to value my time. The tortoise and the hare.
We'll just throw a random reference there.
I like how they had to explicitly say it in case they thought someone was too dumb to understand what they were talking about. The turtle and the hare.
That's why the rabbit keeps rushing us through. It's not like he's badly programmed or anything. Where had Quark been? We're not going to answer any of these questions. Yeah, like I said, who gave him the anesthetic? It's nice to know somebody knocked him out for a while.
Turn in next week.
Well, next 3 months, and we'll have...
Yeah. Who's doing the next video with you?
It should be you, Diana, or Jetty.
Okay, if it's me again, then we can try one of these late night sessions, and I should be able to do it relatively soon.
Yeah, well, we'll send a message to Jetty and ask him to figure it out.
He kept going even when it looked hopeless.
Okay.
I think we should do the same. We've got plenty of time.
Anyway, that's the group of like 3 people. One of them's gonna be there.
And definitely Michael. Have you been on every video so far?
I think so, which makes me
You're the
sad.
constant.
You know, I like the Animaniacs where I just record it and then I don't do anything else.
You just leave.
Yeah.
Here you guys go.
I'll just put up with the fact that half the jokes are about how I'm a horrible player and, you know, I keep losing lives.
They just taunt you the entire time?
Yeah.
How mean. Well, we won't do that here, mostly because you're around and you would yell at us.
Yeah, we'll just have to make fun of Paul if he's not here.
What a terrible beard Paul has.